Hi everyone, another day, another lesson. In the first part of today's lesson, we'll talk about the comparison in English, and then in the second part, you will learn some new expressions which can come in handy when you want to talk about imaginary situations or expressing your preferences. When you compare things or people, you are basically talking about all the similarities and differences between these two objects or people. You can say that you compare and contrast characteristics of objects and people. But how do you do that? You use the comparative and the superlative form of adjectives, just as you would in Croatian. On the left-hand side, there is a short text in which various expressions, as you can see, are highlighted. Some are red and some are blue. Let's quickly read it together. Staying in touch. Modern life is getting busier and busier. And the busier it gets, the more isolated people can feel. These days, people have fewer opportunities to meet friends because they work harder and have less time to socialize. Some say that social networking sites allow them to stay in touch with friends more easily. Sue Weeks decided to test this theory. She stayed in for a week and only contacted her friends via Facebook, one of the most popular social networking sites. Her view: "It was great for staying in touch with friends I don't see very often, or who live far away, but it wasn't the most exciting week I've ever had." The least appealing aspect for Sue was not seeing the people she gets on with the best. Her final verdict: "It was more fun than I expected, but it's less satisfying than meeting people face to face." Here you can see some general remarks and some rules of thumb, which give you a short overview of the various situations in which these expressions are used and are helpful. We often use a superlative with the present perfect and ever. That's the least funny film I've ever seen. We can then make a comparison with simple nouns. She's more confident than her brother. But also we can make comparisons with clauses. She's less talkative than she used to be. This word clause refers to the whole sentence. So she used to be is a clause, and simple noun is simply brother, that is her brother. We use double comparatives to say that something is changing. You're getting taller and taller, or you're getting older and older. We use something and comparatives to say that one thing changes with another. The more I eat, the fatter I get. I'm sure that you know this already, but I think that a brief revision won't harm you. Short adjectives form the comparative form with the ending er, as in richer, whereas the superlative form is formed by adding est ending to the base form, as in richest, and putting the definite article in front of it. So when you form the superlative form, you should always add the. Long adjectives, on the other hand, are simply too long to use er or est. So we have to use more and the most to make them even longer. Besides more and the most, if you want to go in the opposite direction, you use less and the least. So serious, more serious, the most serious, or serious, less serious, the least serious. And finally, we come to the irregular adjectives, which you'll learn by heart. I know these are my favorite as well. These are just the most common ones: bad, worse, the worst; good, better, the best; little less, the least; much more, the most; far, further, the furthest; or far, farther, the farthest. In this task, I would like you to match the sentences halves according to what makes sense the most. So first, read the whole exercise and then take as much time as you need. Pause the video, and once you're done, unpause it and check how you did. The more comfortable the bed, the better I sleep. The more he exercises, the fitter he gets. The later it gets, the more tired I feel. The more carefully you check your work, the fewer mistakes you make. The sunnier the weather, the more crowded the beach. And here is another task for you. You should put the words in the correct order to make comparative sentences. The expressions which you should start each sentence with is capitalized. That should help you. Pause the video now, please, and when you are done, unpause it to check your answers. We live nearer to London than we did before. His hair isn't as long as it was when he was little. That MP3 player was more expensive than it is now. That's the best film I've ever seen. He is less generous than he used to be. You work harder now than you used to. One more thing which you have to be aware of is the spelling of Dan. This Dan, T-H-A-N, is different than the adverb then, like in the sentence, then I wasn't thinking about it. When you compare clauses, nouns, you use then with an A. I just wanted to point it out so that you're aware of that. And now, these are the expressions which we are going to be dealing with in the next few slides. I wish, if only, and I'd rather. And as you can see, they are used to talk about imaginary situations or to express preferences. I wish it were summer, or if only I had a car. So in both of these sentences, you used I wish or if only with the past simple, and you use it to talk about situations you would like to change. We use I wish and if only with the base form, that is with the infinitive, to say we would like somebody's behavior to change. I wish you wouldn't smoke, or I wish this machine would work. We use then I'd rather with the base form to express a preference. Do you want a cup of tea? Sure. Or no, I'd rather have a coffee. We use I would rather or I'd rather with the past simple to say that we want somebody's or something's behavior to change. I'd rather you didn't leave your bag here. That was the theory, and I think that you'll get the hang of it more quickly and more easily if you just practice. So here's your opportunity to shine. Complete the sentences about imaginary situations using these expressions: if only, I wish, I'd rather. Please don't open the window. I'd rather you didn't open the window. Please don't keep interrupting. I'd rather you stopped interrupting. Or I'd rather you didn't keep interrupting. I live in a small village. If only I lived in a big city. I can't find my mobile phone. I wish I found my mobile phone. Or I wish I would find my mobile phone. We can't go to the beach because of the weather. If only it stopped raining. Or if only it weren't raining. I can't stand it when you borrow things without asking, I wish you didn't borrow things without asking. And with this exercise, we are going to end today's lesson. I would like you to complete the sentences with I wish, if only, or I'd rather. Here is the example. I hate wet weather. I wish it would stop raining. I don't like living in the city. I'd rather live in the country. I'll give you a lift to town if you want, but I'd rather you took the bus. I hate camping. I'd rather stay in a hotel than in a tent. I wish my sister wouldn't keep following me around. I can't afford those trainers. I wish they were less expensive. Or, if only they were less expensive. And that would be all. Bye bye.